Hello everyone. We want to show you how do we use Excel or Google Sheets to calculate some popular statistics. We call this chi-square statistics using some homework question we have. So we are going to do this step by step using Excel. This question here, some biology professor claims that on average 15% of students will get an A, 25% get a B, 40% get a C, 10% a D, 10% a F. So on the table here, they showed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is equivalent to A, B, C, D, F. Now we are using Excel. So everyone, you can either simply on your computer open Excel, or you can open the Google Sheets to do the calculation, similar as showing here. So you may want to stop for a moment, have the tool Excel ready, right? So we can type here grade just to make that more clear, right? Grade, we have A, right, B, C, D, F, and then corresponding, we find out the observed based on the information given here, right? Observed, we are using notation O for that. The first one, 13, type that, 21, 73, 11, 13. So you type this one by one. Everyone, I did not start it from the row 1, column A, just to give us some space later. Okay, so when you are using Excel, another useful thing is like you want to zoom that up a little bit, right? So you can see that more clear, bigger. Okay, so for our demo purpose, I zoom to this size. Also say I want to show them in the center, right? So I can use that to align them in the center. Let me see, in the Excel, they have some very basic, like align them in the center, align them in the center. You see that, right? So that is the observed, right? Say I want to use different color just to help us see that more clear, right? And then the next question is, remember in the chi-square statistics formula, what is that? Right? So we have to find out what is the expected, corresponding expected number, and then calculate the difference, and then square, and then divide by expected. So in other words, it will take some time for us to do the calculation. It's not that straightforward. That's the reason I try to use this Excel here to do this calculation step by step. Okay. So what are we going to do here? First, we find out what is the expected, right? We are using notation E for that, expected, right? So remember how many total students we have? 131. 131 students we have, right? So based on that professor's previous experience, 15% will get an A. So I type 0.15 here. That's the percentage, right? What's the percentage for B? 0.25, 0.4, 0.1, 0.1. The reason I type this here is we need to use some of those numbers later, okay, to help us to do the calculation now. Okay, remember, expected, that's from this professor's class, 15%, right? They are expected to get an A. Now they have 131 students. So in Excel, right, we can calculate how many students expected to get an A, right? Total of 131 students. 15% of them expected to get an A. So we can, the formula will be 131 multiply this percentage here. So in Excel, you can type equal, right? Type equal sign here, and then use the mouse to select this cell 131. and then type the multiplication sign, right? Multiply what? 0.15, 15%. And then you have to use the mouse to click this one, right? And then enter. You see, that's the expected number. Of course, the expected number here cannot be may not be the integer, right? 19.65 expected, right? Which is okay, right? Observed, if you have 13.5 people, students, that's scary, right? But for the expected number, it's okay to have decimals. Similarly, you can calculate the second cell, right? What's the expected number to get a B, right? Type equal sign, and then use the mouse to choose this cell, 131, and then type multiplication, right? So you usually, on the Windows keyboard, you have to use Shift 8, right? And multiply this cell here, 0.25, right? Click that, and then enter, right? So similarly, you can do all the other ones here we have, right? So this equal, this cell multiply 0.4. So 2 more to go, equal, right? 131 multiply 10%, 0.1. Enter. Same as this one, equal 131 multiply 10%. All right. So what we call this is our expected number, everyone, right? Expected number, I just want to use a different color. I want to highlight that, right? Okay. Now, based on the formula, we have to calculate the difference, right? Remember, observed minus expected. So here, similarly, we are going to do the observed minus expected, right? So that will be equal, right? Observed, this cell, minus the expected, point click, this cell. So we got a negative, of course it's negative here, right? Now, we can do the same thing one by one as earlier, right? But here, there's a shortcut. We can do this. Now, like there's a way we can easily copy paste the formula to the other one here. So what I did here, I select this cell, everyone. You have to highlight this one, select this one, and then Control C. You see, there's a dot. That means we did something here. Control C. Now, you move the other cell, you select those one. You want to copy, paste to. Control V. Now you select that, and then Control V. You see, after you punch Control V, all the formulas will be applied automatically here. So if you are not sure, double check, right? How do you double check this, right? You double check double click this cell. Is that equal to, you see, those one highlight, right? This number, observed 21 minus expected, right? That's expected, that's correct. Similarly, you want to double check, oh, did we do the calculation correct? Double click that, right? F3 minus F4. Enter, that's right. Same as this one, right? You can also double click here. You see, you click that here, you know, this one, how do we get this cell, right? So this 11 minus 13.1, similar, right? So that's the fourth number here, right? The difference. Well, we haven't finished that yet. Based on the formula, we have to get a square, right? I'm doing that step by step, right? I don't want to rush that. So next one here is what? O minus E square, everyone. That shift 6. That sign here, hat, right? Shift 6. Type at the same time, and then square, right? So what's that mean? That means the previous number square. So equal the previous number, right? You can click that, and then shift 6 square. Type 2, right? Enter. You got a positive number because negative number square is positive, right? You can do the same. That Control V, Control C, select this one, and then apply all the other one here. Control V. That's one shortcut we can apply the formula. Another shortcut here, everyone, 2 ways, right? So you can select this one cell, and then the mouse here hold this one. So right click and hold this one. Move this continue to the one that you want to do the calculation, and then release the button. You got the calculation here. So you can verify this, is that right? Is that square? Yes, right? You do this one by one here. We're almost done, right? The next step, we have to use the formula divided by expectation, right? So bear with me. We are doing this step by step. So this part here is what? It's pretty much the previous one, right? This number here divided by expected. So what I'm going to do here is I write down the above, right? Because that is pretty complex. I don't want to get it confused. Divided by E, right? Above here divided by E. So what's that mean? This number, point click that above, divided by E, 19.65. Enter. So you got this number here. And similarly, you can use Control C, apply this one here, Control V. That's one way. Another way, you can simply select this one and hold, apply to the other cells, and then release the button here. You see, you have all the numbers calculated. Now, remember that is the formula at the end we are getting, is we want to summation all those values together. If you remember in our summation sign, right? We want to add all those terms together, add one by one, one by one. So that's the number here we have, right? So using Excel, there's a formula equal, right? Summation. We want to use, you type SUM, sum, right? Bracket, you want to summation all those 5 numbers, select them, right? So when you select them, you want to hold, starting from first one, hold until the last one, then release the button, and then bracket, enter. You got 14.902. That is our final value here, right? Oh, is that too many decimals? Let me see. Let's look at this. Maybe a little bit less numbers here. Let me slow down. Okay, forgive me, I was using it wrong. There should be some decimals. Like there's so many decimals. I want to remove some of decimals using this one, right? Yeah. Do we have an answer here? Let's see. 14.902, which is the answer is C. Exactly match. So that is our answer, right? So that's one thing, one way you can do that. Another thing, you can quickly check the value. If you select all those 5 numbers, and then after you select, you see on the Excel, the calculated summation is what? It's showing that for you, 19.902, 14.902, same as here. Also, they calculate average, but we don't care about that. The answer is 14.902. So I hope that's clear, everyone. That's the way to do the calculation step by step.